whatever your problem is, you have got to drive the car you're in.
You're lecturing me. Get lost.
Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of F123 Game News, focusing on Breaking Point 2 and F1 World as well. I will include little gameplay clippets of dialogue that was in the trailer we should see from cutscenes in the game as well. Obviously, confirmation though is going to be on a 2-season story mode, F1 2022 and 2023 seasons. Now there's lots of screenshots I've nabbed from the gameplay deep dive video, and one of these is this screenshot here. Now if you notice on this monitor has been in the game since F1 2018. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the F1 2018 R&D screen as well. Obviously we are going to see this bloke on the left. He's a new character replacing Brian. I don't quite know what he does. I presume like he's the head of R&D and the slash team manager type of guy. Also featured new menus. We've got this new sort of drop down, not really a drop down, but a list menu type of thing. Now I don't know if that's going to be the final menu or not. We'll have to wait and see about that. But notice on this screenshot there's a character on the right hand side next to where Devon Butler. Casper Ackerman is there in that screenshot, so Casper is in F123's Breaking Point, which is nice to see. Again, from my point of view, I want to see how the story progresses from Breaking Point 1 to Breaking Point 2. I don't want to do just a brand new story. I want to see that progression between the two stories. That, for me, is what I want to see. But let me know if you prefer this type of menu to what they've currently had previously in F1 games. I'm not so sure about it. Now, we've already been introduced to the 3 main drivers for Breaking Point 2, being Devon Butler, Aiden Jackson, who we already knew was in the career mode thanks to his number, and Callie Mayer, who's Devon's sister apparently. Now obviously I'm presuming she's going to feature in the second season, and somebody's going to have to make a choice because there's 3 drivers and only 2 seats. So whether or not somebody gets promoted or not, we'll have to wait, or relegated or not, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously we've seen Devon Butler appearing in some screenshots previously in sort of the team shirt wear. There's also a screenshot as well later on that I've got of Callie and Aiden together. So I think the player gets to make a choice. As I said, they did say in the deep dive that there are multiple ways to get the story, depending, and it's up to you to make the decision, which is what we want to see, as opposed to everyone having the same story like we did on F1 2021.
The thrilling story mode returns with a fresh chapter, featuring new faces, new rivalries, and more drama.
Are you joking?
Now I've got this boardroom thing, which I think was being leaked back on F1 2019. They were thinking about doing something like this as well. Obviously, presumably, we've got Devon here, Aiden. I presume this is Andreas Connor, because he doesn't look like that Tim Fellows bloke who was about. He hasn't been seen, but there is. I'll show you a screenshot later on. There is the socials of the person who actually owns the team.
The point. It's just Devon being Devon.
He also doesn't sound like that Tim Fellows bloke there. This is the screenshot I was talking about, though, with Aiden and Callie together in the same team. Presumably some hospitality. It looks like the paddock actually, because you can see the Haas in the background there. So I'm hoping that this delivers what we've talked about and dreamed of for career mode in years. It's now time to get all of this stuff in career mode, but that's not being mentioned at all.
Performance and reputation will change based on your actions on and off the track.
Yes, you get performance and reputation based on that. Just to note quickly, this little screenshot of the social media, because remember we had social media on F1 2021 as well, obviously performance and reputation, and notice up here Andrea O'Connor and presumably he's the bloke we saw earlier. He's presumably the owner of Connor Sports. Now, the performance reputation will also go down and up depending on press interviews. Yes, interviews making a return to F123 in Breaking Point at least, with Natalie Pinkham asking the questions as opposed to Claire, because she's been fired from the games. Now, whether or not Natalie's going to make an appearance in Driver and My Team Career Mode is currently unknown, but hopefully she does. But as I say, there's not a deep dive into Driver and My Team Career Mode coming up on the list, so that is a little worrying. Now, Breaking Point will also contain R&D as well. The R&D department are in touch. They need to finalise the schedule for the coming months in order to cement their plans for next season. So you have to choose, because this is a 2-season career mode, where you want to develop R&D, and this is where what choice you make depends on where the story goes from there, where you position. And I presume there's going to be some story elements, some cutscenes introduced as well, depending on what options you pick in the story. Now, both Aiden Jackson and Devon Butler will also be available as icons in My Team Career Mode. This is the only news we've had so far on Career Mode. You'll also be able to select Pastor Maldonado with his 65 awareness, and Kamui Kobayashi is also there alongside. Now we're going to come to F1 World. Looks like the sofa simulator back on F123. We've got this new apartment as well, with the new World Atlas behind, even though it's the wrong size. But we'll gloss over that. They've got Compendium as well. Notice that, I'll come back to that. Customization, we didn't see any of that. Obviously the trophies in the showroom pretty much as it was there, as it was in F122. Now, the way F1 World works is obviously you've got loads of events, and it gives you a whole load of variety depending on what you want. There's also regional events, and also there's special events that are coming up based on the real life Grand Prix season. I presume there's going to be some podium pass stuff as well to go with that as well. Now, obviously you've got solo. It's a solo and multiplayer, so there's a mix and match for offline and online. There's also ranked multiplayer under F1 World. You also earn tech points. You see here on the top right, there's that tech level 1, and you get to spend those on upgrading the car. Yes, that's right, upgrading the car. You get to upgrade an online car, which is obviously the F1 World car. It's basically the FOM Sashi with some podium pass bits, and obviously you get to purchase power unit. Now, I don't know if this is going to filter through into career mode or not. We'll have to wait and see, but that's basically how this works. It's not just on cars though, because it also affects your personnel, because you get to pick a team principal. You also get to, as well as other personnel like strategist, head and R&D, and also it affects what sponsors you can have as well. I've also got the Condominion. Basically, this is a sticker album where you earn these sort of stickers based on how well you do in F1 World, and it's all from all over the years as well. So basically, it's a collector's book of online, which is nice to see, but I prefer they spent more time developing other stuff for career mode as opposed to this, personally speaking. Now, ranked gameplay has divisions, so basically you get given a group. I'll show a screenshot of that in just a moment. You've got to play to 8 point, and there's weekly promotions, so obviously you get divisions, and you get XP based on the podium pass. You get a bit of a boost depending on which division you're in. There's 2 silvers, there's a bronze, a silver, 2 silvers, 3 golds, and then the elite division. Obviously, this is ranked game. This is how the ranked multiplayer works. It's been completely revamped for F123 because, let's be honest, nobody plays this on F122. Now, I don't know how these sort of social multiplayers are going to work. I haven't, because they're supposed to be in F1 World, but there's been no screenshots or anything in this deep dive, so we'll have to wait and see how that works. And there's no mention at all about party games like the elimination event also coming for F123. You know, to have them part of F1 World as well would be quite cool. But this is the division then. Like the top 20, I think, go through, rather 100 as well. Or there's a promotion event. Obviously, you've got 3 things to play in a ranked multiplayer, and I'm not entirely sure how this is particularly going to work. You know, if you've got to commit, I presume, whether if you don't play, you get relegated as well, because that's something that I got very annoyed with on previous games with ranked. If you don't play the game for like a week, it demotes you down the rank and completely wipes your rank as well. So that is particularly annoying when it doesn't when that happens. Well, which is why I think Social Player has done a little bit better over the years. But that's been it for today's F1 23 game news video. If you have enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe to the channel to see plenty more F1 23 game news as when they come out. And let me know what you think about Breaking Point 2 and F1 World in the comments below. I'm looking forward to seeing what Breaking Point 2 has to offer to show what career mode it can be. F1 World, not so sure. You know, those events are going to become a bit boring, personally speaking. It's not something that I particularly will be playing a lot of on F123, you know, with the career mode being the big focus. But, you know, we're not getting a deep dive on what's coming for career mode at all, apparently. Whether or not they add one at some point or not, we'll have to wait and see. So, yes, until the next video then, I'll see you next time. Take care, thanks so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.